to wherever you may be. Midnight Baseball, episode number 20. Wow, super ecstatic, guys. My midnight players, I missed you the other night. Oh, let's just do the shout out early right now. Shout out to Melissa, Salin, and Samantha, my family, for doing that show for me. It's so great. Woo! Spencer.Dodgers was just, that was an epic journey, guys. So I'm back. I'm down and out. I'm going to see what happens tonight. Let's get this going, okay? Midnight Baseball's Ballot. We're going to be doing some stuff tonight, talking about the Hall of Fame, talking about how we the people have taken the game back of baseball, and I've been talking about that, but we don't really know it yet. And we're starting it with Midnight Baseball, okay? We're going to be talking about between the lines, how I came up with how I judge a Hall of Fame player, right? And then Writers Open Ballot. This is how lately the voting's been changing with Clemens and Balms and the steroids users, but why is it happening? Everyone thinks, oh, just because Piazza got in, snuck in a little bit, or Bagwell's sneaking in, and that's why it's happening. The answer to that actually is no, and I'll tell you why in a little bit, okay? We the people, folks, let's think about this scenario right now. We the people who've been talking about it at Midnight Baseball are coming together, joining us, fans, players, ex-players, maybe current players, everyone that loves baseball. If you're in this channel, you're watching this game, you love the game of baseball, okay? You love it more than anything else. You love it more than a player. You love it more than a coach, a writer, anybody. Those players love it just as much, but just because you're a baseball writer, just because you're a Major League Baseball player, shockingly enough, think about this, doesn't mean you love the game in your heart. Some people view it as a job or maybe a hobby. Right? I personally love the game. It's embedded into me. And I know there's millions and trillions and hundreds of you out there just like me. But no one controls us, right? We're supposed to do what? Have a conversation about who's the greatest of the game through the Hall of Fame, right? Here's the Hall of Fame. 30 people run the Hall of Fame over the years. 30 people made a collective group of rules that said 500 writers get to vote for the Hall of Fame. And then those 500 writers over time, over these rules, are supposed to tell us 6 billion, call it whatever you fans, just a number I used, who goes in the Hall of Fame. So, and let's think about this for a second. 30 people are telling us who the heck goes in. That's not happening anymore. That's 1880s talking. This isn't the Bill of Rights. The reason the Constitution was so great was because it changed. The Hall of Fame's not changing with the times. Governments in other countries aren't changing. People are taking over. Revolutions are happening, okay? I didn't know this was going down. You guys are getting me going now. Spencer.Dodgers are getting pumped up, all right? It's happening here. This is what's happening. I just thought this today. Here's us. Let's call it a cloud. Just like everything else in this world and the data and everything else, they would put everything into a cloud, which is just virtually a hardware storage place somewhere in eastern Washington, okay? But our cloud is going to be YouTube and Midnight Baseball and Twitter and tweeting together, right? Whether you're doing your own videos, you're vlogging, you're talking about baseball. There's so many people in our community. I'm not about myself. I'm about sharing, guys. So we the people make up a judge and jury now, right? We make up the unwritten rules that happen in baseball. We make up who's really in the Hall of Fame. Let's get to that. Who are the top 10 people I think should be in the Hall of Fame right now? Number 1, Roger Maris. Answer to the trivia question last time. My wife touched on that. I'm staying on the same trivia because I didn't do it last time. In 1961, Roger Maris, right, and Smokin' Joe DiMaggio went head-to-head for the home run title. Okay? Joe was the hero with the hit streak. Roger Maris was the quiet boy. If you don't know these stories, he's getting hate letters. His family's around. This is one of the most amazing stories. Check into it. That's what the Hall of Fame is. F-A-M-E. Think about the word. F-A-M-E. What does that word mean? We know what it means. Roger Maris is a Hall of Famer. Barry Bonds. Roger Clemens. Okay, oh, I got a name over here. Let's take this off. This is my Manny. I thought about this today. This is not that I'm changing, but I wrote this list a couple days ago. Lee Smith was supposed to go here. The Intimidator in the 80s and 90s led the big leagues in saves at one point. So Hoffman's supposed to be getting automatically. Billy Wagner gets consideration. Okay, Goose Gossage, Raleigh frickin' Fingers. These guys. Where's Big Lee Smith? That's just lock it away. Lock up the game, Lee Smith. Closers are so valuable nowadays. Mario Rivera is like the freaking beesy kneesies of bees knees. Mark McGuire, put him in. It's ridiculous. Vladimir Guerrero, you're gonna hear why soon, but trust me, you call me, we're gonna hear more. Tim Raines, Rock Raines, Mike Mosina, Rafael Palmeiro. Okay, I know the numbers. I have him far down low. He wasn't that big of a Hall of Famer. Hall of Famer's an eye test. Here's what you do: 12 years of longevity for a player at a great thing, or 8 years at stardom, or 10 years of stardom, okay? Between 8 and 10 years of a phenomenal player, plus the last thing is, there's one thing. One, it's how good they were for a long period of time, and two, when you saw them, did you say, wow? Would you buy a ticket for them? Was there a twinkle in their eye? That's how you know a Hall of Famer. It's an eye test. If you know about baseball, I can give you more clues about how to find that eye test. Here's my 10 that go in. 3 guys that get honorable mentions. There's a lot more, but this is just 3. Jim Edmonds, Carlos Delgado, Oral Hershiser. Okay? Those are 3 more guys that should get in. This is not going to be a longer video than I wanted tonight because I'm getting so pumped up here. All right? I'm going against doctor's orders and getting a little too animated here at Midnight Baseball. That's what I do with you guys, okay? I love you so much. I've been thinking about this for 3 or 4 days, up in my bed, thinking about my show, thinking about everyone I've been missing, thinking about baseball season starting off. Between the lines, how did I come up with this decision? Okay, come up with a decision by one way. What happens right here? Inside the lines. What side you are outside, yes, I can judge you for if I'm going to wear your jersey, support your team, do different things to support you as a player, okay? That's not for me to judge over here. When we're talking about the greatest players of all time, right? We're talking about famous players, okay? The greatest, right? Legends, right? The unwritten rules. Our opinion, right? This cloud of everything that we determine, not by the Hall of Fame, not by the writers and what I'm going to get into right now, but by Midnight Baseball and the people, okay? Who do I keep out of this Hall of Fame? Sammy Sosa. He used a cork bat, dude. You can't cork the bat. That's ridiculous. That's cheating. Roids is its own thing. We can get into that. Everybody was doing it. It wasn't against the rules, so on and so forth. Russia did it for 15, 20 years, every Olympic. The argument is what it is. We're not getting political. We're not going to the Olympics. Sosa uses a cork bat. Pete Rose gambled on baseball while managing. Forget about it. You broke the rules, the signs in the locker room. We're not talking about it anymore. A-Rod, I believe he failed the test. I believe Manny failed the test. I love Manny. Manny is unbelievable. I want to put Manny into the greatest players of all time in that category, but I believe he kind of wanted to give the whole the whole salute to MLB. That's the one who should be praised the most is Manny. Man Ram, you're the man. A-Rod, you went out weak style. Manny ended up giving him to him. So, more for conversation. Tweet me. We'll talk about that. Writers open ballot. Why is this all happening? Why are we talking about this? Okay, here's my analogy. Here's what's happening to why Clemens and Bonds are getting in. It's not about them being more lenient on steroids. It's not about Bagwell and Piazza. And because this guy gets in this guy. And so now we're getting more lenient. Or the writers just changed. So the old guard, the old grumpy guys are gone. And the young kids who never watched Bonds and then play are just going to vote him in because that's the right thing to do. That's part of it. Okay? In the sense to where it's an open ballot now with Twitter, with Facebook, with TV. No longer can these reporters and guys hide in their little offices all over the country and snub these big baseball players. Because baseball players such an open game. You want interviews. You want the truth. You want the story because these guys don't have anything if they don't have that. So how can they talk negatively about them and not vote for them for the Hall of Fame and then expect the stories? And how does that translate to Clemens and Bonds? It does exactly. Because when other friends of Clemens and Bonds see that, right, and then they know you're not voting for them, it all trickles down. The baseball fraternity is so small. I'm going for Herbert today on Midnight Baseball. My wife's going to be mad. I'm shortening it up here. But that's my example on that is we have analysts on it, these big networks, the one that owns baseball, okay? And they talk about who would they vote for the Hall of Fame. And they say, ask me outside. Ask me outside who's a Hall of Famer. But here I can't tell you. Oh, so as a fan, we put all of our time and all of our energy, all of our hard-earned money into this TV. And now the people that own baseball, all the owners, have this TV network who hire ex-Major League Baseball players, and they're not going to give us their real opinion about it. Oh, that's great. So who is really a Hall of Famer? I'm calling him out. Bill Ripken. Who is a real Hall of Famer, Mr. Bill Ripken? Give us your list. Tell us who you think. We as fans want to know who deserves it. You're a big leaguer. We're supposed to respect you, right? The other one's Joel Sherman. He comes out and says, his fans come out and call him out while he's doing the other show. Says, are you a Yankees fan? No, he comes out and really says he's a Reds fan. But in actuality, he's not a fan of anything. He's a fan of the game when it comes to big storylines and quick endings. What does that mean? He's in it for the job, folks. He doesn't love the game. He might love the game on the outside of his heart, but truly inside of it, he would have a favorite team and be able to say that and go to a player. He's not an umpire. Now, if you're an umpire, you cannot have a favorite team, okay? That's the only position in this game that you truly can say you shouldn't have a favorite team, because umpires are very, very special people. I've umpired youth games. I've never been fortunate enough to know Major League umpires. I know there's only 10 umpires in the Hall of Fame. We need to get more umpires in the Hall of Fame. Man, I'm losing my voice. Spencer.Dodgers. I'm not even doing trivia tonight. He's on this list. He won the National League Championship Series twice. Once in the National League, once in the American League. He's the only player in the history of the award to ever do that. Who won the MVP twice in the League Championship Series? Once in the National League, once in the American League. He's on that list. I'm about to pass out. I love baseball. I love you. I love America. Gratitude. Midnight players. Baseball gods. I'm walking off by doing a little row. I just row myself off tonight. I'm rowing off. All right, here we go. Oh yeah, last thing. I forgot to say this thing today. I don't talk about NFL. I don't talk about college football, any basketball. Okay, this is all baseball. You watch these other shows, these other programs, these guys tweeting, whatever else. This is all about baseball. This is about life, being positive in baseball. I'll see you tomorrow.